Okay, so you know how we're always told as kids to never talk to strangers? Well, I personally never talk to strangers because I was too scared to. But I think most people do talk to strangers at some point, and today you're going to hear a story about a little girl who made the mistake of talking to a stranger, and it got her into some trouble. Today the story is called Little Red Riding Hood. So this little girl named Little Red Riding Hood was called that because her grandmother made her a red cape that she always wore. She really liked this cape, and she looked good in it too. One day, Little Red was talking to her mom, and her mom said, "Little Red, I need you to bring this basket of cake and wine to your grandmother. She doesn't feel good." Little Red said, "Okay, I can do that." The mother said, "But do not talk to strangers, and do not go on the path you aren't supposed to go on." Little Red said, "Okay, I promise," took the basket and dashed off into the woods. Then Little Red came across a wolf. The wolf said, "Good day to you, little one." She thought that he seemed nice, so she said, "Hello." She knew she was talking to a stranger, but she thought he was nice. The wolf then said, "Where are you going?" She said, "To my grandmother's. I'm bringing her some cake and wine. She doesn't feel very good. She lives just down that path under the tunnel." The wolf said, "Oh, very nice. Well, you know what you should do? You should go look at those flowers over there. They're beautiful, some of the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen." Little Red then said, I'm not supposed to go anywhere I don't know, but I could get my grandmother some flowers, and I really like seeing pretty flowers." So Little Red said good day to the wolf and dashed off to see the flowers. Meanwhile, the wolf snuck on the path to grandmother's house and knocked on her door. "Hello, who's there?" said grandmother. The wolf said, "It's me, Little Red. I brought you some wine and cake." The grandmother said, "Well, I'm too weak to get out of bed, so come on in." The wolf went in, saw the granny, and scarfed her up. Then the wolf decided to lay in Granny's bed and dress up in her nightgown and wait until Little Red got there. Eventually, Little Red got there and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" said the wolf in a granny-like voice. Little Red said, "It's me, Little Red. I brought you cake and wine that my mother has sent." The wolf said, "All right, come in. I'm too weak to get out of bed, though." Little Red went into the cottage, saw grandmother, but grandmother looked different than usual. The wolf looked at her too, and then Little Red said, "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." The wolf said, "All the better to see you with, my dear." Little Red said, "Grandmother, what big ears you have." The wolf said, "All the better to hear you with, my dear." And then Little Red said, "Grandmother, what big teeth you have." The wolf said, "All the better to eat you with, my dear," and then ate her up. Then, happy as a clam, with grandmother and Little Red in his stomach, he laid on his bed and fell into a deep slumber. He snored so loud that a huntsman outside heard him and decided to enter the cottage to see why there was such loud snoring coming from an old lady's cottage. He saw a wolf sleeping on the bed, wearing a grandmother's outfit, so he decided to cut open the stomach to see what would come out. Out popped Little Red, and out popped grandmother! So then the huntsman put a stone in the wolf's stomach so that the wolf couldn't go anywhere. The wolf cried, "Please let me go. I'll do anything." The huntsman said, "All right, I'll take this stone out of your stomach on 2 conditions. 1, you must run into the woods and never come back. And 2, you must let me take your fur." So the wolf decided, "Okay, I can do that." So the huntsman took out the stone, skinned the wolf, and the wolf ran out into the woods and never came back. The huntsman walked away with the fluff stumped over his shoulder, and Little Red had learned her lesson, and grandmother had eaten her cake and drank her wine and felt better. The moral of the story is, don't talk to strangers and don't go on the path you don't know. Oh my gosh.